Okay, this is one of my favorite parts of the book of Exodus today we're going to look at. In just verses 19 and 20 of Exodus 14, there's so much stuff happening here. It's really, really interesting. Now remember, the Israelites are up against the shore of the Red Sea. The Egyptians are coming towards them. Moses has begun to part the water, but you're talking millions of people that are going to have to walk, through this. So this is going to take time to get these people through. So here are the Egyptians. What's God going to do? It says in verse 19, then the angel of God who had been leading the people of Israel moved to the rear of the camp. The pillar of cloud also moved from the front and stood behind them, and the cloud settled between the Egyptian and Israelite camps. As darkness fell, the cloud turned to fire, lighting up the night. But the Israelites, the Egyptians and the Israelites did not approach each other all night. So God takes and sends the pillar of cloud that had been in front of them that led them, and this will continue to lead them throughout the entirety of the Exodus and the 40 years in the wilderness, and actually moves behind them. Now, it's pillar, right? Pillar. Pillar. A pillar is round and goes up, right? So you're just looking at, so why couldn't the Egyptian army just go around it? Even after it turned to fire, just go around it. Well, see, I think this is one of the clues to where the actual camp was, where they were at on what we call the Red Sea. Because you have the Red Sea proper, and then when you look at the rest of the Red Sea, it actually branches. And I like to think of it like, like your arm here. It comes up, and then it branches into these two small, they're referred to as gulfs. And this one is the Gulf of Aqua. And I think that, and this is the Sinai Peninsula right here. I think they actually camped here along the shore of the Gulf of Aqua. And there's a really interesting spot. There's a beach that empties out right there onto the Gulf of Aqua, which is part of the Red Sea. It's kind of like we talk about. Trying to think of a great example. The Caribbean Sea is really a part of the Atlantic Ocean. It's kind of the same thing. It's just this little section that we've kind of marked off and said, well, around this area we call this. This is what we call this. The Gulf of Mexico really is just a little small extension of the Atlantic Ocean itself as well. So same thing happening here. And what's neat is and you can still see it today, you go research this, there's a winding road that goes through this mountainous region that empties out onto this beach. And I think what had happened was the Egyptians were moving in, coming down this road. That was the only way for them to get there. And you had a beach that the people were in, and the presence of the Lord in the form of that pillar of cloud moved and sat behind them. And then it became the fire. So the Egyptians literally could not get through. Can you imagine that pillar of cloud descending? And that stopped everybody. Like, you can't see anything. You can't get through there. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's on the other side. Then it turns to fire. That definitely blocks the situation off. So God really put a firm roadblock that they could not go around. It was absolutely God's protection that came in between the Egyptians and the Israelites while the Israelites were crossing over. It's a beautiful thing. And I love to see the archaeology and the geography kind of come together in this. And they crossed over there at the Gulf of Aqua. See you later. Have a good day.